All right, what's poppin', party people? Thank you for popping in for another episode of Pop Talk. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. This is your man, Professor Nims. I'm signing on with the Casual Rand,
What up, though?
Boston Jared.
Peace, peace.
Coach Dave's not able to rock with us tonight, but we make up the pundits of pugilism. And we want to jump in now with our kind of end of the year reward. Our rewards, because I guess we're gonna keep it a little short.
Awards.
Oh yeah, awards. Yeah, we're gonna keep it short and sweet. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna focus on the box of the year and then the coach of the year. And then we'll kind of keep away from. But I think those are probably two of the most of the contentious topics that we can delve into. And we're gonna start out with the fighter of the year. And then what we've been able to do is to narrow it down to who we think are the finalists for the fight of the year. And so each of the pundits are going to have an opportunity to kind of make their argument and then state who their fighter of the year is. So we may or may not find consensus on this, but you'll have each of our views and then each of our votes in there. So we, based on their achievements, record, and the level of competition, we have determined that the finalists for Fighter of the Year are one, Devin Haney, who had victories at lightweight and super lightweight. We also had Terrence Crawford, who became undisputed in a second weight division this year. And we also have your boy INOUE, who also became an undisputed champion this year. He's actually vying for opportunity to become undisputed twice in the same calendar year. So we are going to start off with your boy Boston Jarrett. So kind of give us your, you kind of give us your pick, but tell us how you kind of came to this conclusion and what were some of the factors that you considered when naming your fight of the year.
Look, it's pretty simple for me. And again, we're recording this on the 22nd of December. So INOUE has not fought yet. He doesn't fight until the 22nd of December. But if INOUE is victorious against Tapales on the 22nd, on the 26th of December, he will become a two-division undisputed champion within the same calendar year, a feat which, from my recollection, has not been accomplished, I don't think, ever in the four-belt era. And correct us in the chat if you guys come up with somebody, nobody has double undisputed in the same calendar year. So I mean, that's it for me. I mean, there are people who are in a way skeptics who will say that the caliber of his opposition wasn't up there with other guys like Crawford and Devin Haney. Look, I've been consistent on this. I always was of the opinion that Stephen Fulton was a tougher opponent than Errol Spence. I thought Fulton. I've always thought that Fulton was the better, more versatile fighter than Spence. And to take a guy like Fulton apart the way that INOUE did, to me it was very, very impressive. And in doing so, he became a unified champ in his, I believe, second weight division. And like I said, and all signs, Tapales is a heavy underdog in this fight for next Tuesday. There's very, very few ways I can see Tapales actually beating INOUE. Yeah, two-time undisputed in the same calendar year. It's tough.
What do you mean by 2 times undisputed in the same calendar year? Because
he became undisputed when he beat
Paul Butler.
Not Jason Maloney. Paul Butler. He became undisputed at
that was actually 100.
That was in 22.
22.
Damn, that wasn't 22.
Yeah,
Fuck, that damn. All right. damn, I thought he did that shit. Oh, it was December of 22.
Yeah,
Yep. So
I really
yeah.
felt like that was this year, man.
a
Time has
year
flown
ago.
by.
Yep. A year ago today.
Well, that makes it much closer then. That makes it much closer
It does. It does.
because now we're looking at a Tapales win versus a Spence win for Crawford, and and then you've got Lomachenko and Prograis the same calendar year. Damn, I should have looked. I could have swore I would have bet money that he had fought Paul Butler this year. Damn.
I mean, it was right at the end of last year.
Yeah,
It
what
was
you
right at
kept
the end of
saying, and I was
December.
like, nah, that don't sound right.
I thought that he had
So yeah,
beaten
like
Paul
that
Butler.
changed and so we're going strictly by the ladder of the book, fighter of the year.
The calendar year.
Of the
Yeah.
calendar
year.
Of the calendar year.
So if I take it literally, I mean, I remember what you said earlier before we hit recording was that that Bud was your number two and Haney was like a distant third. I actually switched that up. I mean, like Bud, yes, he did had the one spectacular fight with Spence. But he didn't put in as much work as the other two. The other two was a Stephen Fulton. He gonna grab 2 belts, and then Tapales he's gonna unify. You know, with the win,
Undisputed.
yeah, undisputed with the win, and then with the Haney, you had him with Lomachenko, a close tight fight with Lomachenko, and then you know what I'm saying, that everybody that was a 50, and to me that it was a legit 50-50 fight. And then
Interesting.
Who
did you pick? Who did you pick for that fight? Did you pick Loma or you picked Haney?
I picked Haney.
Did you pick Haney?
I just thought it was just too long and that jab was just going to dominate.
But he didn't fight him that way. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think the controversial nature of that fight, the outcome, I think we all kind of saw it the same way. I think we all had it as Haney winning, but do you think the controversial nature of that fight is enough of an asterisk to push him out of that #1 spot? Or do you think that strength of opposition?
Yeah, I think that strength of opposition, you know what I'm saying? It just shows it wasn't a cupcake, you know? So so a lot of Bud, like longtime Bud fans sit there and tell you that, yo, the math was already written on the wall that he was just going to whack Spence. So if that's true, then you know what I'm saying, that wasn't a 50-50 fight going in for true Bud fans, you know. So this one with the Lomachenko Haney, I didn't see that true Haney, like longtime Haney fan was like, look, man, Lomo just don't have X, Y, and Z to handle what Haney was going to bring to the table. That wasn't said. You know what I'm saying? Most people thought that his size and length would control that fight. And then the second half of it worked the first half, but true to form, Lomachenko always step up in the second half of fights, and it just wasn't enough in the judges' eyes. And then the Prograis fight, he strictly dominated. But I give more credit to that, especially in this day and age of boxing where people will fight once a year and then, you know what I'm saying, live off the morals. He took 2 highly skilled fights, you know what I'm saying, in one calendar year. And then if you even listen to what's coming out of Tank camp, Tank's next fight is supposed to be some kind of a tune-up. So even if
Tank is not even in the conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that like this day and age of boxing, you know what I'm saying, it's hard that you're gonna have two within the calendar year, 2 great fights. And if you don't even look at Tank, look at Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like me as a boxing analyst, I would put everything on the line that he's not gonna take the toughest May fight, Cinco de Mayo fight, and he's not going to return to take the toughest September fight.
But what do you say? I'll pose this question to the both of you. What do you guys say to the Devin Haney detractors who think that matchmaking, this has been very, very strategic matchmaking on the part of Bill Haney, which has facilitated a lot of the success. There was a lot of people who thought that Prograis didn't have the skill set to match up with Haney, and there are other people still who will say that Loma, having started at 126 pounds, never had the physical ability to give Haney, even though he, proved a lot of people wrong. Loma fought well. What would you guys' responses be to that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have it all the way, because I would have fought like last year this time. I would have yelled the same thing because of what Bud Crawford's resume said. And you know what I'm saying? So now, yeah, hey, all praises, and I give him his props. And so you fight the person that's in front of you, and then what?
Don't be turning Muslim because you're talking about the Haney's and stuff like that. Like,
you know what I'm saying? All praises.
Oh,
and then so what the benefit that Haney has over what Bud was doing prior to Spence was the opponents that he set himself up to fight actually had names. And then Prograis ain't the biggest name, but he had a belt. So you know what I'm saying?
Quality fighter too. Quality.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
I don't think I was on the show leading up, but I think I would have said it was a 50-50 fight till the end. I wouldn't have said Haney was gonna just dog walk him like
do him like that.
You would have been wrong. I think that I called a boxing clinic.
You did
for that for Haney. And like I think that we do have to be fair, Captain Rand, is that because we saw that as maybe kind of as close as a toss-up fight that we kind of seen in a while for for Haney. And I'll say for both of them. I think with the Lomachenko, I might have even picked Lomachenko for that win. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm almost certain. I haven't scored that fight. I'm not mad at a Haney decision, but I think that fight was a lot closer than people kind of realize, and it really speaks to what you like as a judge, right? And those things. I thought that Lomachenko at points was able to really control the real estate within that ring. I thought that his ring generalship, I thought he did well against somebody who was taller and longer. Part of it was because of Haney, but sometimes fighters do subtle things that make you fight a certain way. But he still got the win, though. He still got the win.
So with all that said, if today was the cutoff, today was the cutoff, Haney would be my fighter of the year.
If today was the cutoff.
So even if in a way, like say he gets a first round, like a third round knockout.
I said if it was the cutoff was today, in a way.
I know this is
but this is but
look,
it's fighter of the year. The year doesn't end until
but with knowing what's coming up and the predictions of what he's going to do to a unified champ, I'm going to say that in a way gets boxer of the year.
Really?
And people, I just want to add one thing. There are going to be a lot of people out there who would say, who is Marlon Tapales? Who is Marlon Tapales? Well, I'll tell you who Marlon Tapales is. Marlon Tapales is the guy that beat Murajan Akhmadaliev. And Murajan was the guy who a lot of people thought was the best guy at 122, 126? 126, right? Well, 122. It was him and Stephen Fulton.
Yeah.
Him and Stephen Fulton were the guys in that division. And it was Fulton who was supposed to go for undisputed against MJ before Marlon Tapales went in there and beat Murajan. Now, that was a very, very close fight. And I believe if you go and look at those scores will be very, very indicative of a close fight. I'm pulling them up now. Split decision, 2 115, 113 cards, and another guy, Javier Alvarez, who had his scorecard filled out before the fight even started, right? Had it 118 to 110, which is not the fight that took place. For anybody who hasn't watched the fight, there are in no way, shape, form, or fashion was that fight a 118-110 fight in favor of either guy. So that was a split decision fight. Point is, Marlon Tapales is very, very much a somebody, and he's the guy that knocked off arguably the #1 guy at 122 pounds. So if Inoue goes out there and demolishes this guy, I mean that's gonna be it's gonna be something. And I expect him to go out there and
I mean, but if he does, you think that would put him over Devin Haney? So at the time, you can say that at least Lomachenko was still in the top 10 pound for pound. I'm getting a little feedback from somewhere.
Yeah.
And with the program,
I don't know that he was. I mean, coming off of a Jermaine Ortiz, a fight that people thought
that was a close fight.
Ortiz could have actually won. I had to fight for Loma, but it was a close fight. It was a very close competitive fight. I don't know that I buy that Lomachenko was a pound for pound guy at the time of that win. Still a very, very, very quality win. But I mean, look, this guy Inoue would still have become, this is a history making fight. So he may not have gone undisputed twice in the same calendar year. He's still one of only a handful of guys who is undisputed in 2 separate divisions.
Yeah.
And in the full belt era.
And you can say that within 12 months, he's my, you know what I'm saying? So that's, calendar year is 12, but within 12 months, his fight was literally
December, I think it was 13th. December the 13th, right?
Yeah. So within
just outside of that.
Yeah.
Just outside
of 12 months.
Hey, I want to give I know we had the three fighters mentioned, but I do have an honorable mention.
Canelo.
Who was the honorable mention?
Canelo.
Tszyu.
You just saying that? You just saying that for likes? You trying to get a?
Nah, man, that dude was busy this year, man. Tony Harris.
He did fight some good fights.
Carlos Ocampo and Brian Menendez, all in one calendar year.
Menendez, you sure that's right?
I mean Mendoza, Brian Mendoza.
Yeah.
So that's 3 solid.
The guy you said?
What'd you say?
Who was the other guy you said he fought?
Tony Harrison, Carlos Ocampo, and Brian Mendoza.
Carlos Ocampo.
Yeah. Remember that the first round demolished, like he just.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
So
Ocampo was an Errol Spence victim.
I want to big up and give props to somebody that's staying in the ring, fighting name fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 2 slick fighters too.
I'm not mad at that.
That's why I wanted to bring his name up, not for likes, but just to show that, you know what I'm saying, we recognize that he's taking up chances waiting on Charlo. I think that ship is
that shit. Man, holy shit. Let's not get too much into that.
I'm not even gonna go there. At 154, he's saying, yo, I'm the man here at 154. If any name other than Charlo pop up, I'm gonna wax him right now. So I'm the only name that's standing. So pretty soon he gonna be the man at 154 real soon.
That's a pretty good honorable mention, man.
I'm not mad at that. And I'm kind of, man, I kind of feel a little bad for Crawford, man, because we did. I think
he made that Spence win look so easy.
We put so much into that Spence. He did only fight once, even though he demolished Spence. But I'm like, fighter of the year, somebody who fought 3 times, defended his belt each of those times, knockouts in 2 of those fights, and then he pretty much dominated Brian Mendoza. I mean, that was and Mendoza, a lot of people don't give him that is a good solid fighter. That is a really good solid fighter.
Yeah, that Brian Mendoza win was a good win.
That's a strong win.
He is a real solid honorable mention. Now let me ask y'all this: not Teofimo. Did Shakur Stevenson become a 2 division champ this year?
Man, we're gonna
I'm just asking. I'm just
just
asking.
the
I'm just
fact
asking.
of like,
I'm not.
are you trying to make a
This
case?
isn't about style points. Well, no, I'm just bringing it up. I mean, Tszyu
It
is
is,
still. I mean,
it
yes.
is about style points. It's the reason why we care about INOUE. If he was just going through and decisioning these guys or whatnot, he would not be the kind of star, at least international star that he is. And listen, like I'm somebody who gets up early, sets my alarm, and I will sit down and and make those sacrifices to see INOUE fight. I do pretty much watch Shakur's fights and stuff like that, but where I'm getting up early for INOUE, I'm going to sleep early when I watch
Ah!
Shakur's fight.
Man, okay, fair enough.
But I mean, but yeah, but just for the
it's right.
record though, Shakur Stevenson this calendar year he fought twice. The first time against Yoshino, that there was no belt on the line.
There was no belt. That was his
Yeah, and then
first fight.
when he fought Santos, that was for the lightweight belt.
Vacant WBC, right?
The vacant WBC. You know.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So all
Just
right, so
another.
just to kind of go back around, so Randy, your fighter of the year is Devin Haney, and your honorable mention is Tszyu.
No, INOUE.
Oh, you got INOUE as your fighter of the year.
Oh, you do have INOUE. Okay, yeah.
I said that's why I said if it would have stopped today, Haney
Oh,
would have
okay.
been it. But it's INOUE due
No,
to what
see
he's
that.
going to do.
That's why I
the
came
morning on
back
the
around for
26th.
clarification. Okay. And so Boston Jared, your fight of the year, can we have that?
My fighter of the year is INOUE, and I want to make just a quick caveat to that. Two of INOUE's victims, Manny Rodriguez and Jason Maloney, who he stopped, I think, in dominant fashion. Those guys are now champions again at 118 pounds. Manny Rodriguez is the IBF champ, and Jason Maloney is the WBO champ. Manny Rodriguez, I believe he stopped in like 2 rounds or something like that. And Jason Maloney, he stopped in the 7th round. 7th round for Maloney, and Rodriguez in 2 rounds. Knocked him down 3 times in the fight. So, guys, these guys aren't slouches, man. He's dominating top-notch competition. So, yeah, my pick is INOUE.
So I'm gonna be a little bit contrarian, not for the sake of doing it, but I'm actually gonna go with Haney. I think that INOUE is a close second, even with this decision, because for me is that we expected INOUE to win both of those fights that he's had for this year. And then with Devin Haney, there was at least I did pick the boxing clinic, but it was just that I saw some things in progress. I was just like, guys, I'm telling you this, like Haney's gonna make it look easy. But against Lomachenko, I actually thought that was a toss-up fight. And I give him credit not only for winning that fight, but for taking on these challenges. I mean, nobody's really calling out Prograis at 140 pounds. And besides the loss to Teofimo, nobody had really beat Lomachenko even though he is an undersized lightweight or whatnot.
Nah, I mean, it's Salido. He lost like his 2nd or 3rd fight to
Salido. But was that was, I don't think that was at lightweight though. I'm talking about at
it wasn't. It was at like 120.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that lightweight, nobody was barking up this dude's except for Teofimo Lopez, but he was doing his thing at lightweights.
He was, but he hadn't really beaten many top guys at lightweight. As soon as he started fighting the top guys, is when you started seeing him have all this trouble. But point is taken, though. I'm not taking that to try to undermine your argument, but I'm just throwing that out there. But fair enough.
I mean, this he put it.
Comey.
He did a job on Comey.
Yeah.
Nakatani, he stopped him.
They did good fight because Nakatani gave Teofimo Lopez a lot of trouble.
Exactly. So but
good. No, he's beat solid guys, man. He's beating solid guys, and he is a very, very undersized 135-pound fighter.
Yeah,
So
but
it is, yeah.
super
Yeah.
skilled. But it's good. I mean, I like that. So, but we would just in going by the majority. So as a panel, our fight of the year would actually be INOUE in there.
Yeah.
Even though Devin Haney did get some first place votes. I do appreciate the casual Rand for bringing in that. I think Tszyu should be on people's list. They're not really talking about him. I think even the WBC gave Canelo Alvarez their fight of the year, but I think that but that's strictly for political reasons. That has no weight. But all right, we appreciate that, and so we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna get into our other award segment on the other side of this, but make sure that you do like and subscribe. Once again, the Pundits of Pugilism have chosen INOUE as a 2023 Fight of the Year. It's a bit of a caveat. This is a hypothetical award, but if he does slip up in any way this weekend,
Oh man,
Monday,
yeah.
then Devin Haney is going to step to the podium and I think secure that award.
Like